Cloud providers have become the foundation of modern business operations. For many organizations, a single cloud outage could disrupt customer services, internal operations, revenue generation, and critical business processes simultaneously. Yet despite this dependence, many boards rarely discuss cloud concentration risk. The assumption is simple. Major cloud providers are highly resilient. And they are. But resilience is not the same as immunity. In this briefing, we'll examine why cloud concentration risk is becoming one of the most important yet least understood enterprise cyber risks. Most organizations have spent the last decade migrating applications, infrastructure, data, and business processes into the cloud. The benefits are significant. Improved scalability. Faster innovation. Lower infrastructure management overhead. And greater operational flexibility. But this transformation has also created a new dependency model. Instead of managing many smaller infrastructure risks, organizations increasingly depend on a small number of critical providers. In some cases, a single provider supports identity services, data storage, application hosting, disaster recovery, and business-critical workloads. The consequence is that operational resilience becomes closely tied to the resilience of external providers. When cloud services experience outages, misconfigurations, cyber incidents, or regional disruptions, the impact can cascade rapidly across dependent organizations. Customers lose access to services. Employees lose access to systems. Business processes slow or stop completely. Revenue-generating activities are interrupted. And leadership teams suddenly discover how much of the organization depends on a single technology ecosystem. The challenge is that many organizations underestimate this concentration risk. Traditional risk assessments often focus on internal vulnerabilities while overlooking dependency exposure. Questions about patching, access controls, and compliance receive significant attention. Questions about provider dependency often receive far less. For example, how quickly could critical operations continue if a major cloud service became unavailable? Which business functions depend on that provider? Which recovery assumptions rely on the same ecosystem? And how much operational risk has been concentrated into a single external relationship? These are resilience questions. And resilience is ultimately what boards should care about. High-performing organizations approach cloud concentration risk differently. They begin by identifying critical dependencies. They map which business services rely on which cloud providers. They understand where operational single points of failure exist. They evaluate recovery strategies. They test continuity plans. And they challenge assumptions about provider availability. Most importantly, they recognize that cloud adoption reduces some risks while increasing others. Cloud providers often deliver exceptional security capabilities. But they also introduce dependency risk that must be actively managed. The goal is not to avoid the cloud. The goal is to understand the consequences of dependence. As organizations continue expanding cloud adoption, concentration risk will become a larger board-level concern. The organizations that manage this challenge effectively will not be the ones with the most cloud services. They will be the ones with the clearest understanding of their operational dependencies and recovery capabilities. Because resilience is not determined by how technology works on a good day. It is determined by how the business responds on a bad one. Subscribe to Cyber Risk Review for weekly executive cybersecurity intelligence briefings focused on governance, resilience, AI risk, technical due diligence, and enterprise cyber strategy.